Good morning. It is Christmas Day, so happy holidays or happy Wednesday, whatever it is to you. I kind of wish it was just a Wednesday for me because I just do not want to leave my house, but it is Christmas, so we got to do stuff. But today, the moon is in Scorpio. This is putting our subconscious self in alignment with Pluto in Aquarius. This is really kind of digging at our subconscious, telling us where we need to make changes, where we need to think outside the box, tear old stuff down, burn it to the ground if you got to move forward for yourself, to progress in life. This could have a lot to do with social life. It doesn't have to, but groups that you're involved in as well could be a part of this. The moon is currently, as I'm recording this, in a square with Mars. That's some kind of conflict. This could be an internal conflict. This could be like something inside of you just like nagging at you, or you're seeing stuff happen around you that really has you asking yourself, what am I doing? Why am I chasing these things that I hate? Why am I chasing the things that drag me down? We're really wanting to look within and review our personal actions, what we are doing in reference to what lights you up, what gives you that vitality to keep going, what makes you feel like your true self as you go through your day, and then there's a sextile to the sun immediately after that is that opportunity to kind of start laying down the foundations. The sun is in Capricorn. Start laying down those foundations to be able to move forward and progress further in your life in a way that lights you up rather than a way that just pays the bills or whatever, right? And I know we are just kind of collectively looking around going, oh, things are happening, right? But a lot of people are still like trying their best to maintain this normalcy, but that normalcy isn't working anymore. It's not going to work for much longer. And it's time to start paying attention to that, basically. And our subconscious is really going to be nagging at that today. And it could be in like family events and things like that. Just have this moment where you're like, oh, this is what's important, not the 80 hours a week at work or whatever it is, not the bank account. Like, this is what is important. And that's what we may see coming up throughout the day today, just on an emotional and subconscious level. Now, over on my other socials I posted, I don't think I put it here, that we would likely see some events happen overnight last night. And what's happening is we're seeing these events happen that are building into a major event. We're likely to see something major happen around New Year's. And last night we did, on the other side of the world, see a few things happen. An attack in Ukraine on their power grids, and there was an attack in Afghanistan that apparently killed like 46 women and children, mostly women and children. And there was also a plane crash on a plane that was on its way to Russia, also crashed as well, and a lot of people passed away in that. So we're seeing these events unfold, and they are going to continue to build into like a big moment. And when we get to that big moment, this is when we're going to start seeing those big changes happen. So right now it's important to make sure that you are good in your space, right? Make sure that you're in a place where you can navigate that stuff better, and you can find your own happiness. I've said it over and over and over again. This hustle culture, make as much money as you can, have all the stuff you can. This is not what we were created for. And it's time to start paying attention to that and start living your life in the way that it was meant for you as an individual, rather than the way that the rest of the world is trying to tell you should live. Okay. And that's like really what's going to be nagging at your subconscious throughout the day is, what on earth am I doing? Okay, energy of the day is the Empress. Finding that abundance in the little things. Figuring out what abundance actually means to you. Abundance is not always money. It's not always stuff. It's not always creature comforts, right? Sometimes abundance is just family. It's just peace, right? It's what does abundance mean to you? That is the energy that we are looking at today. What we're focusing on is the moon. The moon in Scorpio can bring up a lot of fears. What fears are coming up to you? What fear is it that's keeping you from chasing your dreams, from doing the things that light you up? What is it that you're not seeing that's keeping you from moving forward for yourself? This is going to be really important as we move forward with the rest of these retrogrades over the next few months, is learning how to acknowledge those fears and sit with them and work through them to understand where they come from and what you can do to overcome them. This is really important, as you go through the day and the next couple of days, really sit with them. Make sure that you're acknowledging that they're there. What are these fears based in, and how can you get past them? What we're avoiding is the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. Don't just drop everything and take off on something new. Don't. We've got to process things before we start fresh, and we are just now collectively in the beginning of this processing. I mean, some people have already done this, and maybe those are the people that are now leading. I know I've been doing it since the last time that Pluto entered Aquarius, but a lot of people kind of dug their heels in the sand and got like extra workaholic or extra doubling down during that time. And now it's coming to a point where you can't do that anymore. It is time to take care of yourself. But we need to make sure that we're processing things before we just take off on something new, okay? The bottom of the deck is the Eight of Pentacles. So this is about your work. This is about how you can go back to the drawing board and do something different. This is about, like I said, it's Capricorn season. Capricorn season is all about building the foundations and taking the time to listen to, in this case, your spirit guides and God, your intuition to guide you, because Saturn, the ruling planet of Capricorn, is in Pisces. So we are being literally divinely guided right now by Saturn to move us forward. If there's a roadblock somewhere, pay attention to that, stop, readjust. It's just a time to really slow down and listen. And what is it that you need to remake? What do you need to rebuild? What do you need to do for yourself to build a better foundation moving forward as an individual? Okay. Clarifiers for the Empress. Why are we focusing on the Empress here? We have a Six of Cups. See, that's where I'm going to go in here, is this finding your abundance in that like childlike innocence. The Six of Cups is very it can be past oriented, like relationship wise, but it's very childlike. It's very much like when you were a kid and you could just, I know I used to sit in a tree and read a book for hours, like that kind of abundance, not the how much stuff can I have kind of abundance. Not, we're not talking about how big your bank account is. We're talking about where do you find that comfort. Again, I kind of said this the other day. Are you staying in a situation because it's familiar and that familiarity is comfortable, or are you staying in a situation because it is actually safe and comfortable and it's actually where you belong, right? We really need to process that right now. Let's get one more clarifier here. And an Ace of Wands. That childlike, Leo is very childlike. I mean, it can be childish, but it's also very childlike. It's fun. It's actually a sign that is associated with children. So we're really kind of going back. That Mars retrograde in Leo is looking backwards and looking towards that little childlike innocence and the passion and drive that you have when you don't have all this extra crap thrown on you. That's what we want to be paying attention to when those energies come up today. Allow yourself to feel them. And then we're going to also pay attention to what fear pops up when we do feel that, right? So let's pull clarifiers on the moon. We've got the High Priestess. Like I said, our intuition is very much guiding us right now. One more, please. And Death. Wow. Look at that. The world is on the bottom too. So there is this listening to your intuition for the transformations. What needs to end? We are in that scorpionic energy. That is the Death card right here. So what is it that you need to be paying attention to? Also, the High Priestess is the Moon card. We have the Moon in Scorpio, right? Listen to your intuition. Allow yourself to feel the fears that come up. That's kind of it. A lot of times, you hit this point where you're like, oh man, I would love to be able to just chill and enjoy this thing and have that little childlike innocence type of energy, but something in the back of your brain goes, oh nope, you can't do that. You have to do this. You have this responsibility. We need to face those fears as they come up and pay attention to where our intuition is telling us we need to make the changes. What do we need to end? What do we need to transform? And this, all three of these being major arcana cards, tells me that this is like a turning point kind of energy, okay? And with the world on the end, it's ending a cycle here. Clarifiers on our Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. Why are we avoiding these? Let's see, we have Six of Wands and more. One more, please. I'm hearing that we need to process things before we take off, because it's hard to, yeah, and the World card again. Needing to process things before like planting that seed and just taking off with it, so that we can build appropriately, right? And we have 10 of Wands on the bottom, so more work, more things that are heavy. What is weighing you down here, okay? So we're avoiding the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands because we need to make sure that we're really processing everything so that we can actually celebrate closing out this old cycle and moving forward into the new one. We don't want to step into that new cycle with that fear still sitting on us. We need to make sure that we are processing whatever fear it is that's holding us back. Otherwise, it will interfere as we move forward into the new process, right? So we want to make sure that we are successfully closing the old cycles rather than just saying, screw it, I'm going to do this instead, okay? Now, again, 10 of Wands on the bottom. It's heavy work. There's a lot of stuff weighing everybody down. We are all feeling it. And we need to make sure that we're not carrying weight that is not ours to carry. We're not carrying excess weight. And what we're seeing come up today is going to show us where we are carrying excess weight, particularly fear associated with that excess weight and those extra responsibilities that are not ours to hold, that we've been told by society are.